let's not mention that. So we resume back in Monteriggioni, where you can see that the signs are much more high res in the PS4 version, which you know is reason enough to upgrade to current generation if you have not already done so.
Yes.
Another reason to upgrade to current gen is Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night are coming to PS4 soon.
I did not know that.
In just under a month, actually, October 26th.
And if you upgrade, you get peripherals that won't randomly shut off recordings when you plug them in. Sorry.
But yes, apparently October 26th is also the day when the second season of Netflix Castlevania starts.
I don't care, because we're about 2 weeks away from JoJo Part 5.
Of course.
Which isn't the son of the Dios. Yeah, children of Dios.
You know, and speaking of fisticuffs, I can't believe I have
Fist of the North Star.
Let's say I have about 7.5 Yakuza games to go through before I can play
now they put out Fist of the North Star.
Before I can start Project Judge. And here we have Maria's Feather Chest, which is the fourth artifact. We found 3 of them a long time ago, but now we're cleaning up because when I recorded that artifact video, I did not know where these 2 were.
Yes, and this is
the second one, very sneaky.
Yes.
Walk in, sit immediately to your right.
Yes, and this is it's just there's a boundary there that will automatically return you if you do not hug the wall. So it's very sneaky in that regard.
Camera tricks.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's like how in every God of War stylish game, they always put something immediately behind you that the camera doesn't focus on.
Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted does
I've actually
that too.
I just finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's Tomb Raider. I mean, it's like if you like Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider and Uncharted, you will probably like it. I mean, it's.
I mean, my thing is I like pretty much every game I play. I'm not a hugely critical person.
Yeah.
But my main problem is I just don't have enough time to play video games as much as I'd like, which is really unfortunate. But, you know, I do have school.
Yeah.
And speaking of school, I have to be in bed in about 3 hours because I have a midterm that starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay. Now, let me get to the quick point that I brought up the last 2 times we recorded this video. Erudito, the email from Erudito is actually kind of important in this because that lets you see everybody else's email. Erudito is a third-party hacker group who wants to share information and stuff. They're not Templar related and they're not Assassin related. I don't know how they got into Desmond's email, but whatever.
Hackers.
Yes.
You know, it's a very computerized.
They show up in Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. Yes, Liberation.
Not in regular.
I was about to say Freedom's Cry.
But
that is the other game. That's another game about freeing slaves.
Yes.
But it does show up in Liberation at points to show the true ending and stuff like that. Right. By the way, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered finally coming out as part of the season pass for Odyssey.
Really?
Yes.
Is there any big differences between regular and remastered?
Supposed to be doing. I don't know what exactly they're doing. Other than probably fixing, graphics and.
Yeah. I mean,
they're probably not going to make the story better, which is going to be a tall order. But, I haven't played 3 in a while, and.
I have. Last time I played 3 was when I played bowls with Washington, and he destroyed me.
Yeah, and then I could finally get around to my goal of platinuming every single Assassin's Creed game on PS4, except for 1, which they continue not to put out.
Except for what?
1, the original.
Oh. I don't know.
Actually, I can't technically platinum Freedom's Cry because there is no platinum, but whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yes. I mean, the thing is with Erudito is that none of your assassin friends really have anything to hide, is the thing. They just talk about, stuff going on.
Well, Sean's a big old dick.
Yeah, he is. But, we could have guessed that.
He's a real big old dick. He stole MP3 players and ate the last yogurt.
I mean, to be fair, Sean probably has the most demanding. I don't know what Lucy. Lucy kind of is coordinating the other assassin groups, I think. Rebecca works on the Animus to make sure it's working. Actually,
Lucy has an important plot point in this game.
Yes, but we don't need to talk about that right now.
Yeah, it's just a stab in the gut.
I was about to justify Sean being a dick by saying he does the most work, but he really doesn't. He kind of does. He does coordination work, but maybe not as much as Lucy does.
Well,
but mostly he's researching
he does
history
research.
and stuff.
That's
yeah. I mean, I don't know how much research needs to be done when we're literally living through it, but you know.
He does all the cross-referencing that we don't do.
Yes. I assume cross-referencing is pretty serious stuff.
He reports that the tiny little yipping dog, purse dog in Assassin's Creed Syndicate is named Desmond. And the entire virtual beer tour.
we caught a bit of talk of temples in that last email. Temples will not be... Well, I shouldn't say anything about it. Just, we will see them in this series. Because you can't talk about ancient temples and not eventually visit them. These things are just not done.
I mean, we did it at the end of Assassin's Creed, too.
Yeah, I guess, yes. But actually there are quite a few modern day cutscenes like this. The thing is, I might have mentioned this the last time we came into the modern day, but my recording screwed up on one of them and I lost a couple cutscenes. Yeah. But I was not going to replay like 3 or 4 sequences just for a minute-long cutscene.
Yeah, these cutscenes...
Even when I wasn't in law school, I had better things to do.
Yeah, the cutscenes will periodically update in between the memory sequences.
Yeah.
I think there's at least one where at the start of a memory sequence you talk to Lucy, she's like, we'll order pizza.
Yeah.
And then when you get out of that memory sequence, they come back and the pizza's all gone.
That sounds quite plausible, actually.
Oh, I really wish I got that cutscene, actually.
And they're like, sorry, you were in there.
See, I would think the smell of pizza would stimulate any of Desmond's senses.
He's in the middle of Renaissance Italy.
It's October 8th.
Yeah, but it's pizza. It's Italian pizza. Remember, they're in Italy right now.
Yeah, and they just reached the New World, which means they just got tomatoes. Tomatoes were not an Old World crop. They took them from South America.
We're getting closer to the apple.
Did you know the original ingredients for pizza were based on the Italian flag?
Yes.
Green, white, red.
Yes.
Good thing the fate of the world doesn't rest on your shoulders.
Hey, joke all you want, but your mental health is a serious
really, I guess there wasn't an Italian flag per se when pizza was invented. Or maybe there was. Yeah, pizza is like late 19th century, I think.
I'll rest once we have the apple.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Maybe. Apparently green, white, red was pretty popular. Whatever.
Late 19th, earliest 20th.
Yeah.
The earliest pizzerias in the U.S. the earliest. Are around that time frame. I've been to the oldest pizzeria in the United States, continuously operating. Lombardi's Pizza in New York City.
Oh yeah, I was gonna guess it was in New York. You know, but aren't you gonna?
We're helping Desmond go through psychological trauma. It's not like we're going to like continually trap himself into Ezio's persona and have to spend an entire game freeing himself from it. Not to mention all the Altair shit.
But aren't you glad I checked on the recording last time and noticed something was wrong before?
I thought we agreed not to mention it.
I was just gonna say, can I have some props here?
You told me not to mention. No, I did.
No, whatever. Doesn't matter.
God.
Because we got some fun stuff.
I can't wait to see what Animus framing mechanic they will use for Odyssey.
Including a DLC thing this video. I guarantee there will be some DLC stuff. I do remember that part.
Yeah.
Because on the first recording, you dropped out for 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh yeah, I muted myself because I had a phone call.
Oh, well, that's sort of okay, I guess. You know, one thing I have to get used to in the city here is I hear sirens going off a lot these days. But that's kind of the potpourri of the city, you know.
What city are you in? If you don't mind me asking, you can.
Des Moines.
Oh, okay. You're in the big city now.
I live just outside of my law school.
Yes.
Which is really nice since I can sleep in and not worry about having to miss class so much.
Yeah. See,
but yeah. See, the thing is, I'm not usually a fan of greenish colors in video games, but this one's pretty nice.
This is a nice. It's
like
a nice forest green, and the offset of the ochre. The sort of fucking
really
guy
green.
I remember, you fucker.
It's not like Joker's hair green.
No. It's not a bright green. It's a nice forest green.
Yeah, I do remember in Unity you could pretty much dress up like the Joker. You could have a purple robe and
yeah,
there were some very silly combinations, but that's part of the fun in Fashion's Creed.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of which, when is Odyssey coming out?
Tuesday.
What, that soon?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not think it would be that close.
Friday, Tuesday. Tuesday, whatever. It's coming out. It's coming out next week. There's a bunch of different release dates depending on what version of it you have and where you ordered it from.
Oh, interesting.
If it's digital or not, and you have like the gold edition, you get like 3 days early. But yeah, but if you want, go get like go get Origins and get used to
yeah, I really do need to play Origins. I know that. I just don't have enough time for it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to get Yakuza 0 out of the way pretty fast because I'm like maybe 60%. Maybe 60% of the way through New Game Plus on Legend difficulty, so I'm so close to the platinum. But I just need to do it. This is kind of a busy week.
No, that's fine. I mean, I took a break with Kiwami 2 for a little bit. I got to finish that up, and then I just don't know if I'll ever platinum the Yakuza games because usually that means like completely mastering the completion checklist, and I'm like,
yeah, that was me on my first playthrough. My first playthrough took 150 hours.
Yeah, but Kiwami 2, Kiwami 2 is nice. You get to go back to Sonobari.
I'm sure it is.
And you get to go meet Yuki again.
I'm really looking forward to it, but I've been
advised. Another hostess club.
I've been advised that if you're a total newcomer to the series, playing them in numerical order is the best.
Yeah.
There's advantages and disadvantages, but
no, that is not actually really bad advice. I will say that because 0 is standalone enough where it really does give you like a good intro to the series. And while there are a couple of like haha references to future games every once in a while, it's not overwhelming, and you're not.
Yeah,
it's a bonus.
Stuff you don't,
it's not a.
It's stuff that works fine, even if you have no idea what it means at the time.
Like the kid who steals the pants.
Yeah, I was even worried. I was even curious. That guy, I was thinking on my second playthrough, that guy looks a lot like the guy on the box art of Kiwami 2.
Yeah, that is in fact the boss of that is one of the major antagonists of Kiwami 2. Ryoji Goto.
Yeah,
the dragon of.
Tenbori.
Well, no, he's not the dragon of. He's the dragon of.
It starts with a K, I think.
God, I'm gonna forget it. No, it's because Sotenbori is to the west. He's the dragon of Kansai.
Oh, Kansai.
Yes, and comparatively, Kiryu would be the dragon of Kanto. So it's east versus west.
So this Templar lair is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it looks like a real place. Like obviously it's set out so you can do the traditional platforming and stuff, but it feels like a place where people work.
Yeah, it's this is obviously an aqueduct quarry. There was a buried treasure somewhere in this place that we want to get at. But the Templars are trying to repair the aqueduct to get there. We don't want this to happen.
I mean, it's fine if they repair the aqueduct and we steal the treasure. It's just we gotta be here to steal the treasure before that happens.
Pick it up if I can follow.
Although, if we're being honest, all the Templars' wealth has not particularly helped them so far.
Well, we kind of stopped their banker.
Yeah.
And their army guy. And a bunch of other people. Including, like, the number one... Well, no, actually, I didn't stop the number one assassin.
Actually,
Micheletto.
I think it happened earlier before this game takes place, but earlier the French invaded Italy under Louis the Something,
Yeah.
and they kind of conquered Rome, but not really. Alexander and the French had a kind of off-again, on-again relationship, and Cesare would eventually marry a French bride, which Sean mentioned earlier in this video.
Yeah.
But it all kind of came apart when Alexander died.
Yeah. Which was the Pope before Rodrigo became Pope. So...
No, I'm talking about Rodrigo as Pope. When the Borgia's power was pretty much based on Rodrigo Borgia being the Pope. When he wasn't, people stopped caring about him. About that entire family. And Cesare, well, we'll be seeing how he died later.
Look, just because there was an in media res appearance of Cesare fighting Ezio at the start of the game does not mean we can talk about spoilers.
I mean, it's not a spoiler to say this historical character dies, and if you look up Cesare Borgia, you find he died in 1503.
Yeah. So roughly, we just need to manipulate a bunch of machinery and kind of redirect water every once in a while. It isn't really too bad. It's
It's not very puzzly. It's pretty obvious.
There's like water. Sometimes, like right here, it can kind of be a pain. You can at least usually be able to follow the water.
I know what that is. That gate that opened up. That's a sluice gate.
Yes.
I learned that in Uncharted 4. I've never heard the term sluice gate before.
It's a gate for a sluice, which is a... Okay.
Well, yeah, but who knows what a sluice is?
I do.
Well, I didn't before Uncharted 4 when they mentioned that.
What is wrong with your Italian?
I mean, I live near a dam, so I kind of know what sluice gates are. I've also watched lots of shows that have dams and sluices. So.
Common plot element.
So this is the one part of the mission where the bonus objective is kind of a pain. You can't kill any of the workers or hurt any of the workers.
Yes.
So you can't really and so this is also where it kind of gets to be kind of a pain in the butt. Because up to this point, the level layout is pretty straightforward. It's only after this point where it kind of just... This little bit kind of sucks.
Because it's not super obvious what you're supposed to do.
Plus, you have a horde of dudes who you can't hurt chasing you on the one platform you really have access to. So
that is relevant.
So
you're not supposed to do that. That was dumb. So I edited the trip back. But yeah, the main objective here is to get this crane swinging around so it destroys the walkway that this guy is sitting on, and then a collapsible path leads to up projectile text over.
Yeah, at least I guess there are like signs telling you that, but
yeah.
To be quite honest, I'm going to be happy for the updated text in this game, because I don't think you could really read that in the older versions. The resolution was too low; they were just more blobby.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. PS3 to PS4, similar F360 to Xbone. It didn't seem like that huge a jump at the start, but there really is a pretty big difference in resolution between the systems.
To be quite honest, at least from a graphical perspective, there's a big difference between Brotherhood and Revelations.
Yeah,
and
part of that is because they changed the art style somewhat.
They changed it somewhat, and also, to be honest, they kind of took more. They wanted it. I mean, in the end, it kind of works better because when they did the design for it, Istanbul, Constantinople, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
It's very colorful, very wild, and
yeah,
it really shows because they have a high. they take advantage of having lots of contrast for the colors because of that.
Yeah, just compare any of the Italian cities in the 2 or Brotherhood to Constantinople, and there's a huge difference there.
So basically,
someone just fell off. I don't know who it was, but probably was a guard. And if it was a civilian, I didn't kill them. You know, I can't be responsible for people falling in water. You know, that's just part of the law. In Assassin's Creed 2, you can bump people into the water all you want, and you would never get desynchronized.
And you're going to now bring up Forley, because you could do that a ton in Forley.
Because technically, I didn't kill them, now did I?
No, their lack of proper drowning education on how not to drown people.
And I can hardly be blamed for that. And wasn't... Oh yeah, someone else just fell off.
This mission...
Yeah, the fact you have to go back to that first switch, not super evident.
And he's a German mercenary, obviously.
Yes, and we just teleported back here, but that's alright.
Yeah. They're now notorious.
This chase can be pretty tricky because there's a lot of opportunity to get knocked off.
Yeah, this.
And at certain points, this guy will try to knock you off.
This is I do have to say, this is one of my more favorite chases in the series.
Yeah, it's very tense.
Yeah. And he really does do a good job of trying to fuck you over and doing a admirable job about it that doesn't involve just like randomly shutting gates that you have no fucking clue how the hell he knows how to trigger them, but whatever.
I assume it works like every Zelda dungeon gate mechanisms. Like someone in charge just lowers gates.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and there are a bajillion like Maya, Incan, Aztec things that have like fucking gates that just like kind of go up and down.
I mean, it certainly helps that the setting for this chase isn't some like dingy dungeon, but it's actually a wide, expansive area. That there's a lot of scenery going on.
Yeah, you have a good opportunity to see where you're going, see how everything kind of
lays. See, right there. If you don't know he's going to shoot you off, that can easily kill you. He'll fire one bullet, and that bullet can easily knock you off if you don't know it's coming.
Now this, unfortunately, I mean, it is mostly scripted, I think, but at the same time, it doesn't really ever feel cheap.
Yeah.
Because he generally doesn't get that far ahead of you or do that.
Forget the pressure. I will be granted riches beyond belief when I bring Cesare your head.
Perhaps I will send it yours.
Nine!
Yeah, I was wondering what kind of accent this guy has, but apparently he's supposed to be German.
Well, I'm assuming it's some sort of German. I mean, the Swiss Guard was supposed to... I mean, it is a Swiss Guard, so they're some sort of Germanic, essentially Germanic, though. They're not...
That is true.
Not entirely German, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not get into arguing over 15th century European nationalities. That's a fucking... It's still a fucking mess.
Technically, Switzerland was part of the Holy Roman Empire at this point. Although they were de facto independent.
Yeah. Oh, God. And of course, he's a papal guard, which means he does not like to go down easy.
Yes.
And he can,
projectile attacks are usually fine, but hand-to-hand stuff, they can take a pounding.
Yeah. Plus...
unfortunately, the Swiss Guards are not in this game, and you would know if they were in this game because they wear very colorful outfits, which are impossible to
I'm always thinking of the Papal Guards, which are only show up in like 2 or 3 spawn points throughout the game.
Yeah.
Spawn points in the city.
The Swiss Guards are totally different dudes who guard the Pope these days. They're the ones with the purple and orange outfits, I think they are. Hey, you know, he'll probably fall into that stream when he wakes up, so I think we're okay here. And either way, we punched his lights out, and all we really
Well, that's a conspicuous lever. Right in the middle of the rock face. How did they miss this too?
Well, see, we did some of their construction work for them, I think.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as is the case with all Templar lairs in this series, the actual monetary rewards, not fantastic.
No.
But that's not really the point. You want to do these Templar lairs for the platforming stuff. And going to a unique location like Tivoli, where we are now.
Or the home of the, why can't I think of the family in Forensic?
The Medici?
Yes, the Medici house. Hey, okay, I'm just taking a couple pieces of gold, leaving the rest for the Templars. This won't come back to bite us when they continue to build up their war chest.
Hey, how does that see another hay cart?
Magic. He paid to be there when he left.
I guess I could see that.
This Metal Gear Solid reference.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Well, Metal Gear Solid forward reference since Peace Walker came out after this game.
Yeah. I always forget how...
Oh, wait, you can kill 2 workers, you just can't kill. I think there were like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. I think that also technically translates to the part where they you're chasing him. There are workers that you can accidentally bump off and kill, too.
Yes.
But you'd be hard pressed.
Although I cannot swear civilians died during the course of that Templar lair. All I heard was screaming. I don't know who did the screaming.
Yeah.
And you'll notice I never buy maps. That's because, you know, I do collectathons the hard way. Is the thing.
Yeah, I know, and I too like pounding nails on my dick.
Like in Yakuza 0, usually I did not have to look up the card locations. Although cards are worse than the feathers in this game in one way because you can only collect ABC cards in sequential order. And until you find the A card, the B card does not show up, even if you know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
So it can be kind of tricky. But so I even made I took a screenshot of the map of Camarocho, and I just put in paint, or GIMP really, big black circles where I found cards.
Yeah.
I did it very scientifically.
I found just about it. I don't think I looked at any of the cards. I think I just ran around and I had the card finder out.
Oh yeah, I didn't use that thing. Come on. Oh, yes, in this flag you can only get this by getting and you can just barely make that jump.
Yep.
It is much like an old NES, and you can't make it back since the column is lower than the aqueduct. Yeah. But it's much like in NES games where you kind of have to have one foot at the very edge of a platform to jump over a long gap. There is a jump in Castlevania towards the end that does that. But, you know, I assume they did it in Mega Man, but I have never played a classic Mega Man.
Never played it?
Nope, the closest I've gotten to a classic one was X1.
X is not a classic Mega Man game.
Yeah, I know, but that's the closest thing.
I played every single Mega Man game. I'm ashamed of you. Get in every single one. Fucking have a video of me feeding the booby and trap with 5 fucking sticky bombs instead of 6. Because I did it until I got it. Hey, there's the good show.
Usually you get these portraits of important characters when you kill them, but we never kill Lucrezia. Spoiler alert.
I think we saw her, whatever, she shows up in the DLC.
Yes. Lucrezia died of natural causes. Yes. No murder. Unlike her...
She died of a broken heart.
Unlike much of her immediate family, she was not murdered.
Oh, she died of a broken heart.
You know, I appreciate the Virgin reading that book, but I don't think Jesus is understanding too much of it.
We could do it too. Raphael.
Later would become a Ninja Turtle.
There's lots of people who become Ninja Turtles.
I wonder how many minds that blew of young children who loved the Ninja Turtles, that they were all named after Renaissance artists.
Pretty sure that's established in like the first episode.
Well, see,
it's more quicker in the comic books.
Yeah, see, Ninja Turtles, also not a classic thing I was ever that familiar with. I mean, I was familiar with the premise and who Shredder was, but as for actually watching the cartoon, I can't say I did.
It was the age of where it was on TV and could watch.
Since when was it on TV?
Late 80s, early 90s. That was my generation.
Well, see, I was born in 1990, so
I'm
very
a few
young
years
while
older.
that cartoon
I'm not
was
that
on.
much older than you, but a few years older than you.
Yeah, most people are. Although, compared to the typical something awful user, apparently I'm fairly old. Like, I think you get some extreme outliers, like, wasn't there an 80-year-old dude who was a goon?
Probably.
I mean, you have some huge outliers among SA's membership, and I'm one of the older ones I've come to find.
Yeah, you're probably not, but...
Which, you know,
we're
27,
all old
it
fucks
doesn't...
at this point.
Yeah. You just feel old after a while, even though you're really not.
Sorry, I don't know why the phone is ringing. Not expecting.
See, I was about to wonder if history was going to repeat itself. But
no.
I mean, not that a huge amount of stuff is going on right now, but you know, even so, it would have been very strange if you got a phone call and 2 separate recordings of this video.
It's 9 o'clock at night. I don't know why somebody's calling me on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Unless it's a fucking telemarketer or a spam call.
Man, I like not having a landline.
I really should get rid of mine. I don't
yeah.
use it too often as an actual phone. But
Yeah, you know, I was missing one weapon. Oh, no, I know what weapon I'm missing. The Dagger of Brutus. I still don't have that yet. I have all the otherwise special ones like Maria's dagger, but not the Dagger of Brutus.
And all the ones you can buy in the store or get from the side quests.
I mean, we will. Spoiler alert: we will be getting the armor and dagger fairly soon, like within the next 3 videos, I think. And for some reason, this is the only assassin who ever talks to you.
Except for Nikolai, Claudia.
Yeah,
Maria.
well, they don't, all these random mooks hanging around. But see, this is an important moment because we are about to get the full Assassin's Guild.
Yeah.
And have a virtually invincible NPC hit squad.
I can't wait to get Odyssey and just see what why the fuck I'm going to have Evie Fry as my lieutenant on my boat. But I'm like, okay, and if she commands and I give her a sword key, and I'll be happy.
Serve the light. We are assassins.
I assume you say that just because she looks like Evie, not because she has the same voice actor or something.
What? No.
No, that's what I figured. It would have been cool if they got Evie's voice actor back, though.
No, seriously, they're putting Evie in as a possible lieutenant.
Oh, the character. Yes. Just straight up Evie Fry. That's pretty cool.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's a little callback to the second to last Assassin's Creed.
I guess it's this one. Syndicate's been on.
Yep, there we are.
Long time going.
Now everyone is a senpai. There are no senpais.
And now you don't even have to do any of these missions.
Nope, because I've done all the special ones. And eventually the unique ones like scapegoats repeat, but we've done them all.
And plus you don't need Vlad the Impaler coins anymore, other than, well, you could get more money, but you have a box that gives you money.
You know, it's
actually
pretty funny that they have the. It's pretty funny they have the modern European political boundaries here, because Europe would not look like this for almost 400 years.
It's not entirely modern, but it's close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Most notably, I'm seeing the absence of. There's a combined Austria-Hungary. There isn't a single. There isn't a diverse state, and what have you.
Oh yeah, and at the time this game wasn't made, Macedonia did not have the name it has today. They actually finally resolved the Macedonian naming controversy.
Macedonian.
Yeah, Macedonian, whatever.
I'm sorry, I listened to Dan Carlin.
Is it Macedonia? Oh, you mean like macadamia nuts? I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Macedonia.
It could go either way, actually.
Oh, whatever. I don't know Greek. But yeah, the Macedonian naming controversy was a huge thing for like 30 years until they finally could agree on a name. Which I didn't know that was a thing for a really long time. I heard it mentioned offhandedly somewhere, and like, wow, it's been going on for a really long time.
Okay, we got to kill 3 guards, and we got to kill them fast.
Yeah, see, the thing is, there's a lot of water, and these guys very easily fall into that water if you push them, or just something weird happens. So. The way he fell into the water was very funny.
Yeah.
And there you go. You failed because
Hidden blade.
These guys are dicks.
Gotta kill him with the hidden blade.
Because Machiavelli really insistent on these guys being killed with a hidden blade.
Oh yeah, did I tell you that Fist of the North Star is going to have a hostess minigame?
You did not.
They're going to have a hostess minigame.
That sounds about right, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's like just straight up pretty much Yakuza, right?
I mean, there's a demo in the store.
I'll see. Again, I don't have all that much time to play video games.
It's free. So that takes out one of the comparison issues. But yeah, it is.
Okay, because that's pretty much what I figured.
There's a little Mad Max.
Mid-mix.
Yeah, you get a car and you drive around the desert. And then periodically people are like, hey, let's go fight Kenshiro. This is a great idea. That won't backfire horribly. And then it backfires horribly.
I don't know what these Swift guys are doing. They're just kind of jumping around the ruins. Not really sure what they're up to.
I don't know. Well, there's one guy dead. Congratulations.
No, he wasn't one of the targets. I still have one of... It's getting a little crowded down here. Like those guys were ninjas. They dropped in like right on top of me.
Yeah. Well, you managed to kill like 4 dudes bumping into the water just a second ago.
Oh yeah, there was only one guy I need to kill with the hidden blade.
I think you have to kill all of them.
Well, yeah.
There's only one of them who actually matters in the little group that in the.
Yeah, I know you have to kill all 3 of them, but just the one in the water area is the toughest.
This isn't a very hard mission. This is just...
No.
This is where the assassination contracts are finally kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah. At least it's not that one from 2 where you have to kill 8 guys in like 30 seconds.
That's a fun one. Yeah, I know, that's a fun one, but...
Smoke bombs are absolutely mandatory.
Yeah,
I mean, they're additionally mandatory because there's a bunch of spear guys, and it's not that easy to counter spear guys.
It's amazing. As long as you keep people unawares, you're good.
Yeah. But in just a straight-up fight, spear guys are really annoying because you can't counter them. And if you remember the training video mission, spear guys ruined a lot of my combo.
Why?
This will be short. We've only got a few minutes left in the video.
Yeah, but it's... Fuck, I forgot. Fuck!
We have to wrap up this plot.
No,
what are you
fuck!
talking about?
I hate this mission!
Come on.
It's the most depressing mission!
You know me. I can get this done soon.
I've had to go through this mission. I played this game 2 or 3 times. This is the second time we're doing this video and this mission. I hate this mission. It's sad.
This is taking place during the Bonfire of the Vanities,
the DLC that we hit in Assassin's Creed 2. That involved the Mad Monk that stole Ezio and gave him a beard.
Which was sequence 14, I think?
Ezio got stabbed, he grew a beard, and then he went back to Florence and a bunch of stuff was on fire.
Yeah, the thing is, Ezio's beard grew really fast. But honestly, to be fair, you can grow beards pretty fast in real life, too. Like, if you go like a week without shaving, you have a pretty thick beard.
To catch up, this is the Bonfire of the Vanities. This was a period of Florence history that's kind of infamous because there was a bunch of, well, there's a reason why they call it the Bonfire of the Vanities. A bunch of stuff was burned. And
yeah, it was a very weird time in Italy.
There essentially was a religious figurehead named Savonarola, who, if you want to believe Assassin's Creed, had the apple, and took mind control of people, even though the apple kind of like really just makes clones of yourself and kills a bunch of people, whatever the fuck. Oh wait, that could be different now. I don't care. I don't care.
Apples kind of all have the same functionality, I thought.
So basically a bunch of people died, Florence went to shit. You spend an hour doing the exact same mission 10 times in a part of Florence that, despite Ezio living there for 20 years, never visited for 40.
But the thing is, it's kind of a cool little callback to Assassin's Creed 1, actually.
There's some fun parts.
Which was the intention, but it's kind of goes on way too much. It goes on much longer than it really should. And this guy's AI completely bugged out because I ran away from him. And I was very close to desynchronizing that because that's not how
look, you have lost all your full health by your fine. I'll just get you to the doctor and he'll give you some leeches or something. Fuck medicine this time. It's horrible.
Look, if you just avoid damage for long enough, you'll recover your health.
Yes, we'll bleed. We'll clear your lack of blood with more bleeding. I'll follow Washington. Second. Look, I promise I won't fucking eat redheads until I get to Turkey.
Like Ezio's beard here, it's pretty reasonable for a guy in like his late 30s, I think. Late 40s.
Okay, and this is why Christina never shows up. They actually decided to actually close the plot hole of her from the first game and write her out.
Yeah, she just vanished after a couple missions and 2. Like, she was just straight up never mentioned again in Assassin's Creed 2 after the intro bit.
After the intro bit and after the hanging scene.
You're right.
All right. There we go.
Thankfully, looks like my recording